stress is something that we all deal with in our day-to-day lives. There's acute stress and there's chronic stress. Acute stress being something like you have to do a presentation at work, and chronic stress being dealing with a sick loved one or a very stressful job. Chronic stress can lead to burnout, insomnia, heart disease, and even cancer. So this is why it's important to get a handle on your stress management. So stay tuned to learn more about how to properly deal with and cope with stress. Hey everyone, my name is Megan Garza and I'm a holistic health coach and a yoga instructor. I'm also the CEO of Megan Garza Wellness. Stress can have a really negative impact on our health if you don't manage it properly. And I'm not talking about rushing around all day only to come home and to maybe do some deep breathing for 5 minutes, because long term this is not going to have many health benefits because you're still dealing with that stress throughout the day, and this is why it's more important to be actively managing your stress throughout your day. So rather than being stuck in traffic or stuck at that light and being angry and upset, maybe channeling that into taking some time for yourself and clicking on the radio or your podcast or calling a loved one if it's safe to do so. Now, of course, lifestyle does play an important role in your stress management, like proper diet, getting sunshine, exercise, but there are also many other things that we can do in order to manage our stress properly. Redefining the way that we think of stress is also really critical as well, because many of us think, I'm not that stressed right now, or what I'm dealing with does not really count as chronic stress, but you'd be surprised. Some examples of stress include having a pessimistic view of the world, dealing with a lot of anger, feeling hopeless, financial stress, excess caffeine, dieting, excess exercise, major life changes, either good or bad, toxic relationships, travel, hating your job, and even loneliness can all count as stress. So as you can see, making sure that you are recognizing that you're dealing with stress is the first step in dealing with it. So now, what can you do about stress? One of the number one things that you can do is being mindful of your stress. When you have acknowledged that you are dealing with stress, take some deep breaths and make sure that you are standing up straight or sitting up straight, because not only does this improve the blood flow and the circulation, but this also helps your body switch more over to a parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you stay in that rested state rather than fight or flight. Cut down or eliminate caffeine, alcohol, and drugs. Even things like typical cannabis use can also be a crutch at times if you feel like you are doing it too much, along with alcohol. I'm not saying that it's a terrible thing to use these substances, but when it is done in moderation, that is when it's okay. However, if you are coming home and you are solely relying on these things to help you get through these stressors, that is when you should acknowledge that it's a problem. Also, caffeine can not only cause you a lot of physical stress in the body, but also emotional stress. So cutting back on these things or eliminating them altogether can be very helpful. My favorite is nature. Nature is absolutely wonderful. It is so healing to your mind, body, and soul. And by just getting out there in nature is really gonna do a number for lowering your stress levels. And especially if you are walking barefoot, that's extra bonus points that you get. Before I continue, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, because not only does it help my channel, but it also lets me know that you are enjoying this content. Gratitude is also something that you can practice in order to help you manage your stress levels. So oftentimes when we are really stressed out, it's easy for us to focus on negativity. And by focusing more on gratitude and what we do have and what we're thankful for and we can be positive about, this will lift our mood and help us feel more at ease and at peace with ourselves. So either waking up in the morning and writing down 3 things that you're grateful for, or saying them out loud and just noticing them throughout the day can be very helpful. Journaling is also another really excellent option, because not only does this help you channel some of that energy by writing it down, this also helps you get another perspective on it, so to speak, because you are looking at it now that it's written down on paper, and you can reflect on that and maybe come up with different solutions or different ideas as to how to deal with that situation. Positive relationships also play a really vital role in your stress. If you're surrounded by people who bring you down and are energy vampires, then of course you're going to feel even more stress. This is why it's so important to have a strong support system and people who are going to be there for you. Now, I'm not saying that you should dump all your problems on them and you be an energy vampire. You should always reciprocate the feeling and it should always be mutual between both parties, but by having someone else to talk to and a shoulder to lean on can give you feedback or even just that emotional support that you need. Ask yourself some big questions. So I know that this might seem a little bit silly and cliche, but it really is important to ask these questions. Really checking in with yourself and seeing how you're doing. So what am I not doing in my life that I really want to? Am I really happy in my relationship? Is my job fulfilling my needs? What are some of the things that I can do in order to bring myself more joy? Asking these big questions and evaluating the overall big picture on your life can help you manage your stress levels. So there you have some of the ways that you can manage your stress levels so that way you can live a healthier and happier life. Let me know in the comments below which one really resonated with you, or if there's a stress management technique that you personally use that I did not mention. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.